Ladies and gentlemen, students and faculty, this is the fourth module of the Common Thread series. Each module is designed to build greater understanding and respect for the people we work with every day. In this module, we'll discuss conflict resolution. Welcome to Module D, Conflict Resolution, using conflict as a catalyst for needed change. Any situation involving more than one person can give rise to conflict. Much of the conflict I've experienced seems to float just below the surface. I feel pushed to conform to the perspectives of my coworkers and supervisors and keep my actual thoughts secret. I feel there's very little engagement or cohesiveness of our team, which means we often don't feel like a team at all. There's no safe way to express disagreement, and often it feels as if there's no overarching strategy. Conflict emerges when goals, expectations, and/or interests between individuals are seen to be incompatible, whether they truly are incompatible or not. Everyone on a team can have the best intentions, and conflict can still arise. Why conflict happens? Ambiguity. Negative conflict is most likely to occur in situations where team members are unclear of their roles or on team procedures. When complex tasks or roles exist, as is often the case in the healthcare profession, ambiguity is far more likely. This means conflict is more likely as well. Self-focus is the belief that the reality an individual perceives is both accurate and indisputable. When people are entrenched in self-focus, it's easier to misinterpret someone else's motives or to feel threatened by disagreement. Healthcare situations are particularly prone to conflict as power differences among team members, resource scarcity, and competing interests and priorities heighten ordinary conflict dynamics. Communication-based conflict has many sources. The absence of clear and timely feedback can allow small problems to become large ones, letting them reach crisis point before they're dealt with. The perception on the part of students or lower-level employees that it isn't safe to express their opinions can push conflict just below the surface, where it's likely to boil up at inconvenient times and erode the function of the unit. Communication can also break down around cultural differences. Culturally based communication breakdown tends to occur for two reasons, either because one or more parties are relying on stereotypes or because people tend to interpret others' behaviors through the lens of their own culture. An easy example is that people who come from the northeastern or western United States tend to have a more direct approach to communication than those raised in the Deep South. This can result in Northerners failing to pick up on subtle Southern communication cues, or Southerners believing that their Northern colleagues are rude or on the attack. Moreover, cultural misunderstandings can lead to dehumanization. Dehumanization takes place when people are stereotyped, stigmatized, or their individuality is ignored. And this can cause individuals to experience humiliation and a sense of isolation from their teams. My department has experienced high levels of attrition from administrative personnel. We live in a state of tension because we don't know what the expectations are or how we're expected to handle difficulties. Negative conflict can have numerous detrimental effects to any organization, including weakened communication, distrust, fractured collaboration, higher turnover, and poor performance. In a healthcare setting, negative conflict can compromise the work environment, patient care, and performance of essential tasks. Although it may create discomfort, conflict itself is a normal part of any organization. It can also be a catalyst for needed change. Positive conflict and psychological safety. Conflict is neither good nor bad. Properly managed, it is absolutely vital. Positive conflict, or conflict which is ultimately constructive, can result in better decision-making, increased understanding, and superior performance. The most beneficial type of conflict comes in the forms where each voice is heard and valued, such as open conversations, debates, and brainstorming. Positive conflict is characterized by a creative tension between differing ideas, for which different individuals act as empowered advocates. We see productive conflict taking place in a climate of psychological safety, which is the sense that disagreeing on the dimensions of a task or an approach will not result in retaliation or other negative repercussions. When psychological safety is present and expectations and roles are clear, employees feel safe to speak up about dangerous or faulty practices, and each team member feels that they can suggest potential solutions or innovations and be heard. Creating a sense of psychological safety is incumbent upon leaders during times of conflict. Leaders must ask for honest feedback, and people must be explicitly told that their honest input will not result in negative consequences. Input should be affirmed and accepted, and leaders must demonstrate the willingness to listen without judgment. At the same time, parameters must be set for safe communication. Belittling, name-calling, microaggressions, and character indicts must be taken off the table. I've been an employee here for 17 years, and my experience has varied widely depending on how my supervisor handled conflict. With some supervisors, I felt like I was being punished for everything that went wrong on any project. With others, I felt like challenges were treated as an opportunity to learn.